We have revealed about the evolution of Vinayaka worship in part 1 and 2 of this video set. In the following videos, we shall discuss the origins of Shiva, Vishnu and Brahma and their female counterparts, namely Kali, Lakshmi and Saraswati respectively. You would be surprised to know that these deities, who are understood to be of Hinduism, are actually the deities of Asivakam origin. Asivakam trained its people towards Aruvam, that is Arupa worship, starting from Uruvam, that is Rupa worship. It is like teaching children with picture books initially and ultimately graduating to the text-only based study. The whole structure is delightfully designed, as is expected of a contribution from Arivar, the wisdom people of Asivakam, who are otherwise called Siddhas. We have already introduced the color concept of Asivakam, with black being the first stage, and white the enlightened stage, and the transparency the final nirvana stage. Between black and white, there are 4 stages of evolution of wisdom of Asivaka students, marked by colors blue, green, red, and golden yellow in the ascending order. In Tamil, the word Ayyanar means respectful or worshipable person. Almost every ancient village in Tamil Nadu would boast of temples of Ayyanars at the outskirts of the village. In contrast to the other temples in the villages, these Ayyanar temples would have frightening atmosphere, replicating a jungle-like appearance with lots of dense trees, and are situated at the outskirts of the villages. The jungle-like appearance is suggestive of Asivaka Siddhas who lived in forests and mountains. Ayyanars are Asivaka Siddhas themselves. Since Ayyanars were protecting the common men with their arts like martial arts, medicine, psychotherapy, astrology, etc., these temples are usually called Kaval Deivam, which means protective deities of the village. This is probably the reason some of the Ayyanars are having weapons in their hands. In Ayyanar temples, normally one would see 7 images sitting in a line painted with one color each of the colors of Asivakam. These are normally called Muni, which literally means Munaivar. Meaning of the word Munaivar is determined knowledge seeker, otherwise called scientist. Knowledge seeking is a strenuous and long enduring process, and hence it has grades or standards just like the schools of today. The grade of their knowledge level is shown by their color. The size difference of the statues is also indicative of their wisdom level. These 7 Munis are called Yelu Muni in Tamil or Saptarishi in Sanskrit. Apart from these 7 symbolic images, human Ayyanas who attained nirvana are also represented by statues in these temples. In many places where Asivaka padis, that is natural caverns or schools are located, an Ayyanar temple or Amman temple or both are also found. We are showing one such an example at Dusi Mamandur. The video shows the placement of an Ayyanar temple with respect to the Asivaka padi. We had zoomed in the padi from inside the temple, and when we are slowly unzooming, you find that we are inside the temple in the company of Ayyanar statues painted in the colors of Asivakam, and also the Pachayaman, that is green goddess temple, which is one of the 7 Kannis, that is Sapta Kanyas. Actual traditions are lost or forgotten with the passage of time, and hence Ayyanars are not arranged as per the hierarchical order of the color scheme. From what have been shown, one could find the relationship of Ayyanar temples with Asivakam. Another proof that Ayyanar temples are of Asivakam representation is established by the fact that one would always find elephant statues in these temples, which are the primary symbols of Asivakam. Along with Yelu Muni, that is Saptarishis, 7 Kanni, that is Saptakanya statues are also found in the Ayyanar temples. The word Sapta evolved from Tamil word Sattu, meaning close, and we shall deal with the etymology separately later, considering the scope of this video. One might ask, what has number 7 to do with Munis or Kanyas, thus calling the Munis as 7 Muni and Kannis as 7 Kanni. The Asivaka Siddhas divided human life as 7 equal parts based on the wisdom levels, starting from the womb of the mother to the fully grown man of highest wisdom, followed by Nirvana stage. Of these 7 stages, each stage is represented by 1 Muni for males and one Kanni for females. As for Siddhas, these images again represent 7 stages of knowledge levels which are scaled up compared to that of common man. Moreover, the 7th stage, the Nirvana stage, is not reached by the common man, and hence common man has 6 births only and the Siddhas has 7 births, as each stage is called one birth. This is the meaning of Saptarishis and Saptakanyas. Hence, these 7 knowledge levels are distinguished either by the color of the image or the size of the image or both. Just to have a look at the Edukani temple found near Alambadi village of Viluppuram district. This Edukani temple is found within 1 kilometer from a Siddhar Padi of the prehistoric period. Here you see the 7 Kannis are graded by the heights of their images. As this place is a very ancient place, it seems to have retained the original concept. Since Asivagam was completely destroyed, just like Buddhism, by the Indo-Arya Manuvadis, many of the traditional customs are lost. However, since all evidences could not be destroyed, these are manifesting in various places as parts of the whole picture. The wisdom grading of Kannis with height found at such an ancient place called Alambadi is one such rare evidence. While searching the web, we accidentally located one more Saptakani temple, seemed to be located at a place called Kida Kollai, where the wisdom levels are shown graded by heights. However, in majority of the places, these Kannis are shown equal in height, which is indicative of the loss of original customs, or the concerned people did not pay attention to details. These 7 Kannis are holding a lotus bud each, which indicates that these deities are of Asivagam origin. Lotus was actually a chosen flower of Asivagam. That is why Lakshmi, Saraswati and Brahma, all the symbolic deities of Asivagam, are all sitting on a lotus flower each. We have not exhausted all the Ayyanar and Edukani temples of Tamil Nadu. We shall record many more pieces of ancient evidences in due course of time. The 7 Kannis are Kaliyamma meaning black, Neelambigai representing blue, Pachayammal representing green color, Sivapayi or Tirumagal or Lakshmi for red, Ponnambal or Mariamma for gold and yellow, Vellayammal or Saraswati for white color, Kaviriyamma or Gangayamma representing transparency. These 7 deities are also worshipped in individual temples in Tamil Nadu. Since Tamil civilization is the oldest civilization and there was a mother goddess worship among such communities, these are no wonder. However, since ancient times, these goddesses are considered to be 7 in numbers, as is proven by the very existence of Saptakanni seals among the seals of Indus Valley. Worshipping of Saptakannis, that is 7 Kanni, as 7 female images is not found anywhere in India except Tamil Nadu and the Tamil regions annexed to the neighboring states of present-day Tamil Nadu. Same way, worshipping 7 Munis, that is Saptarishis, as 7 images is found only in Tamil Nadu and not elsewhere in India. These 7 Kanni and Saptarishi temples are found in every one of the ancient villages of Tamil Nadu, and their numbers could run into several thousands of such temples in Tamil Nadu. These things prove that Indus Valley civilization was not the primary civilization, and it got derived from the one at Tamil Nadu, and hence Indus civilization is also a Tamil civilization. Further, the seal shown is the one excavated from Mohenjo-daro, and it is depicting a Jallikattu scene which continues to be practiced till today only in Tamil Nadu among the Indian states, and this proves that Indus Valley civilization belongs to the Tamils. There are other concrete evidences, and we shall show some more in the later part of the video. Though some mother goddesses along with Shivalinga were the earliest worshipped images, we believe that by the time 7 Kanyas were started being worshipped, 7 Munis were also worshipped. This is purely an Asivaga tradition, and this tradition is exclusive to Tamil Nadu, as Saptakanni, Saptarishi temples are found only in Tamil Nadu and not elsewhere in India. The fact that Saptakanya seals, Jallikattu, Yogic posture seals were found in Indus civilization, it conclusively proves that Indus civilization is a Tamil civilization. Hence, Asivagam has origins from Indus Valley times itself. This fact would get further substantiation from other factors as well, and we shall learn of them as we proceed in this video. When we discussed with Mr. Orissa Balu about Sapta Rishis, that is Elu Munis, we were reminded by him of the Moai figures of Easter Islands. He told us that he had seen sets of 7 figures among them. We had then carried out study of these figures. These figures are mounted at the land-sea interface all along the periphery of the entire island. There are more than 400 such figures, and majority of them are individual figures. However, in one place we could see 15 of them installed together, and in many places they are installed as stocks of 7 in numbers. It turns out that Easter Islanders were originally Tamil people, and many of their names and symbols are carrying Tamil identity. For instance, these figures are representing ancient people of wisdom. They are called Aringa Ora by the people of Easter Islands. We know that Tamil Siddhas were called Arivar or Arinyar. Hence, these were originally called Arinyar Uruvam, meaning the image of the man of wisdom. This might have distorted to Aringa Ora. The word Ora would have also originated from Ore, which means zodiac in Tamil. Just like Asivagam Siddha, Shiva is related to Taurus Orion zodiac. Their society was headed by a priest, just like ancient Tamil nation, where the Siddhas were the well-wishers of the people. The priest in Easter Island was called Ariki. This might have come from Arivar of Asivaka tradition. These human figures are called Moai figures. Most of them are installed very near to the sea facing the land, all along the periphery of the island. Let us now consider as to how the name Moai originate. In Tamil nation, the sea to land or land to sea entry points are called Muhavai. Muham in Tamil means face. Vai, which actually means mouth, means entry point in this context. Just like mouth is the entry point of the human face, Muhavai means entry point facing the sea or entry point facing the land, as it can be called either way. Hence, these figures installed at Muhavai places are called Muhavai figures. Muhavai figures deform to Moai figures. Muhavai, Mohavai, Moai. Muhavai, Mohavai, Moai. For instance, the place where rivers meet the sea in Tamil nation are called Muhavai, which is the name used even today in Tamil nation. The platform on which these figures are mounted are called Ahu, which was a deformed Tamil word called Aham. Aham means place in Tamil. Hence, Aham, the place, the platform where Muhavai figures were mounted, deformed to Ahu. Majority of names of these figures were deformed words of Tamil origin. For instance, one of the figures is called Vai Mata, which means entry point goddess in Tamil. Mata means great mother in Tamil. Ma plus Thai, Matai, Mata. Likewise, many of the names of these figures were Tamil names. We have to do further research on Easter Islands and its relation to Tamils. The set of 7 Moai figures speaks volumes on its relation to Tamil land. Worshipping of 7 images are seen in many cultures in the world, and it had all evolved from the original Tamil philosophy. We have to embark on a detailed study regarding these traits globally. The Indo-Arya Manuvadis, the destroyers of Asivagam, named the Sapta Rishis out of actual sages or imaginary personalities. There is no one set of names, and the fact that there are so many names obtained from different sources means that the original Tamil ideas were misunderstood inadvertently or deliberately. The same is true in the case of Saptakanyas. Saptarshis are told to have been created by Brahma to help in the act of creation as per the concept of Hinduism. Saptakanyas are told to have been created by Parvati to destroy some Asura. Brahma created Saptarshis for some reason, and Parvati created Saptakannis for some other reason. But why both of them created the same 7 in numbers? This proves that Manuwadi version of the story is bogus, which is obvious even otherwise, as it is only Shiva, not Brahma, who is actually the creator. On the other hand, as per Asivakam, the 7 Munis and 7 Kannis represent simply the 7 stages of the life of males and females respectively, each stage representing the natural psychological temperament, wisdom level, and the philosophical outlook of the general individual. We have already stated that 7, one of the sacred numbers of Tamils, is obtained from the 7 celestial objects, 5 of which are planets, which are Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn, along with Sun and Moon. The days of the week are named after these celestial objects, and hence the days of the week are 7. In fact, in many places, these Ezhukanni female deities are called by the Tamil names of these celestial objects, like Thingalpadi, Moon, Budanpadi, Venus, Vellipadi, Mercury, etc., which are also the names of the days of the week in Tamil. The inner planets are represented by Ezhukanyas, the female deities, and the outer planets are represented by Ezhu Munis, the male deities. The sun is represented by Vinayaka, as sun is the source of light and hence a symbol of wisdom. Moreover, the Tamils named these celestial objects based on their attributes. For instance, Saturn is called Kari, meaning black, in Tamil, as it is a dull planet being very far from both sun and the earth. It has got another name in Tamil as Suni, calling it so after the rings of Saturn, which distorted to Sunny in Sanskrit. Jupiter is called Vyaran, Vyal plus Aran, meaning big and distant object. Mars is called Sevvai, meaning red in Tamil. Some researchers feel that Asiva Siddhas as atheist. This is not true. Some of the Siddhas were critical of the idol worship, like Sivavakyar, who was a Siddha of recent period, where Indo-Arya Manuwadis took control of the worship of Asivaka deities, and hence his criticism was directed to them. Siddhas were not averse to the belief on one supreme power. In fact, as we have already stated at the beginning of this video part, the Siddhas suggested gradual evolution of the feeling of God, starting with Rupa worship and finally realizing him in Arupa form. That is what happened to Vallalar too. He started to worship Murugan, followed by Kali, and then Sivalingam, and ultimately to the worship of Sodhi, which is light. He started with saffron clothing, and when he came to Sodhi worship, abandoning Rupa worship, he started to wear white cloth. This is reminiscent of Asivaka faith. We do not know whether he was fully aware of Asivakam, though he explained the set colors of Asivakam, that is, black, blue, green, red, golden yellow, and white, as color screens of ignorance in the way of realizing the ultimate truth. As a person's knowledge expands, the color screens of Ajnanam, that is ignorance, would open up one after another, from black to white, after which one would see the real Sodhi, the true light of knowledge. Asivakam distinguished people by 7 colors based on their wisdom level. Female individuals are represented by Ezhukannis and the males by Ezhu Munis. We shall consider Ezhukannis first. For each of the 6 levels of wisdom represented by a kala, they had associated a deity, as we had discussed earlier. However, they had identified 3 landmark deities among the 6, the first, middle, and the last. The first is darkness, represented by black. The second and middle level by the red color, indicative of rising sun, and the third is enlightenment compared to the full-blown sun, represented by white color. As far as the knowledge level is considered, the first level is marked by lack of wisdom, which is that of the childhood. Second level is that of an average householder, and the third level is that of an aged person with gathered wisdom. As far as the philosophical qualities are considered, the first level is the ruthless punisher of evildoers, the second level is the householder who tries to forgive and accommodate you, and the third level is that of a yogi who never punishes anybody and only offers wisdom. The first level goddess is represented by Kali, the black deity. Since Kali is a ruthless punisher of evil forces without any mercy, she was identified as the first level deity. Tirumagal is identified as a middle level deity, as a deity of any household representing combined qualities of certain levels of compassion, prosperity, and wisdom which are required to run a household. Hence, Tirumagal is the householder's deity. She is a god of people of the level of wisdom, represented by red color, and hence Lakshmi is seen wearing red colored dress, often sitting on red lotus. The so-called Gajalakshmi is a householder's god of Asivagam, and that is why this symbol is carved on the main doors of Tamil's houses. The people of highest wisdom are represented by white color, and the deity is Saraswati, wearing white colored dress, often sitting on a white lotus. Sarasu means water body in Tamil, and Saraswati is the one who lives on such water body. There is a definite and interesting meaning for this word Sarasu, and we shall discuss later at an appropriate place in this video. While Kali, black, is a god of valor, and Lakshmi, red, a god of wealth, the Saraswati, white, is a god of wisdom and hence the god of education and fine arts. One can realize the truth of our saying by observing the images of gods found at commercial establishments like grocery shops, factories, etc. These images would have minimum 3 deities, namely Vinayaka, Lakshmi, and Saraswati. Vinayaka is the primary symbol of Asivagam, and these female deities are also Asivaga deities, the chosen ones among the Saptakannis. Asivagam is connected with commerce people, as has been discussed already, and hence it has become essential objects of worship at commercial establishments. They have left out Kali, as she is considered inauspicious god as far as the commercial establishments are considered, as Kali is a ferocious fighter god. There should have been one deity corresponding to the transparent color. This god is an Arupa god, neither male nor female, which symbolizes absolute wisdom and is called Parabrahmam. We shall come back to it when we consider Edumuni gods. Male individuals are also distinguished by colors of wisdom. Here again, 3 landmark deities are identified. Shiva, the god of creation and hence is related to childhood stage, is placed at the first level corresponding to the black color. That probably could have been the reason that he was made the lord of Saturn, which is called Kari in Tamil, meaning black. Shiva is the first Tirthankara of Asivagam. He is called Adinathan. You shall see in the picture that Shiva with his crescent moon is shown as an Ayyanar, an Asivaga Siddha. All the Vahanams of Ayyanars are shown in the same place, and you see the bull, which is the Vahanam of Shiva. This temple is situated in a village called Sittarvarai. The very name of the place is named after the mountains where ancient Siddhas lived. To provide one more proof that Shiva was an ancient Siddha is Ayyanar temple at Pudukottai. Not only that the Samana traditions show that Adinatha of Samanam is Shiva himself, he is shown as Ayyanar in the above examples. He is known in 2 forms in Tamil Nadu. One is Sivalingam and the other is Natarasa, meaning king of dance. Sivalingam is symbol of creation of all living beings, while Natarasa the symbol of creation of the entire cosmos. Natarasa is holding fire on one hand and Udukai, the sound instrument, on the other hand. This signifies that the universe was created with fire and sound, which might symbolize Big Bang theory of today. His dance is indicative that everything is moving and changing. His Sadaimudi, that is, hair, is said to represent the Milky Space, our galaxy. In Jewish religion, Shiva is called El Shaddai. El means God in Tamil too, and Shaddai means Sadai in Tamil, meaning plate of hair. Hence, Shiva was an ancient guru. The dancing Shiva form should have been suggested by Adinatha, the first Tirthankara of Asivagam, who also should have coined the word Shivalingam, and hence he himself is worshipped as Shiva after his parinirvana. Shiva was a worshipper of Sivalingam, which was called by some other name till then, and as he coined the word Sivalingam along with the duality concept, he himself was called Shiva after his parinirvana. People observe fasting on the day of his parinirvana, which is called Shivratri, and devotees remain awake all night chanting Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya means Nam Siva Ayam, meaning we belong to Saivite clan. Shiva is also considered as the god of destruction. Red color, which is called Sivam in Tamil, would represent menstrual blood as well as fire. Fire is a destructive agency, and hence Shiva is also called the god of destruction. As I said earlier, that Sivalingam is an object of worship by the mountain people, and there were forest fires in the mountains, created due to friction among the trees because of high winds on the mountains. The fire created unsurmountable survival difficulties, and hence people who were worshipping Sivalingam customarily for enhancing population also worshipped it out of habituation to save them from fire hazards. This way, Shiva should have been worshipped as a god of destruction also. The fire, the destructive power of him, is shown as his third eye. Without creation, there is no destruction, and without destruction, there is no recreation. Everything created gets destroyed and recreated again, and hence symbolizes the law of conservation of mass and energy of the universe. Shiva is the god of creation as well as the god of destruction. By this it means that Brahma is not a god of creation. The fact that Shiva is a god of creation is also inferred from another Tamil name of Shiva, which is Uruthiran. Uru means image or creation, and Thiran means one who is capable of. Hence, Uruthiran means one who is capable of creation. This Tamil name got distorted to Sanskrit as Rudran, and they concocted a different meaning as destroyer to this word. Hence, Brahma shall be the creator as per their cunning design. We shall learn more about Brahma in part 5 of the video set. Shiva embodies a great philosophy called duality concept. Male, female, happiness, sorrow, day, night, creation, destruction, and good, bad. Present-day knowledge of proton, electron, matter, wave, etc. could also be added. Male, female, or proton, electron are of opposite qualities. They have to work together to make a meaningful existence. Otherwise, they would annihilate each other. Duality concept has a lot of significance for our well-being. This concept is said to have been taken to China as Taoism by Siddha during 1st century BCE. Siddha was also the inventor of parachute, as we stated earlier, and he demonstrated it to the Chinese. Siddha worshipped Muruga, who was also an ancient Asivaka Siddha, and Siddha attained Samadhi at Parani Hills. Parani is one of the abodes of Muruga, which is deliberately called as Padai Veedu instead of its original name Pari Veedu. You shall know the reason in part 6 of this video set. Since Shiva is a god of creation and destruction, he is placed in first level and is identified by the color black. Shiva, being the first Tirthankarar called Adinathan, should have been wandering on the back of a bull, which happens to be his vehicle. He being the first Tirthankara of Asivakam, he wearing a skin of a tiger might have a meaning too, representing very early days, several thousand years ago. At the time, elephant was yet to be linked to Asivakam. That is why in some Ayana temples, we see both elephant and bull statues. Ayana temples shown here as examples are Pudukkottai Ayana temple, which is near Sittanavasal, a celebrated seat of Asivakam, and the other is at Tadagam near Sittarvarai. At the Ayyanar temple at Tadagam, we see an Ayyanar statue marked as Shiva Muni with a crescent moon on his head. Probably because Shiva wore tiger skin, he was seated on tiger. But bull and elephant, which are the identities of Asivaka Siddhas, are standing in front of the Ayyanar statues. Hence, it was Shiva, the Adinatha of Asivakam, which is worshipped as Shiva of Hinduism. We shall compute the times of Shiva, the Adinatha, the first Tirthankarar. We know the time gap between 23rd Tirthankarar, the Parsvanatha, and 24th Tirthankarar, the Mahavira, is about 500 years. If you take this as a typical time period between Tirthankarars, then Shiva existed 11,000 years before that of Parsvanatha, and Parsvanatha lived 3,000 years from now. Hence, calculating this way, Shiva could have existed between 15,000 years and 10,000 years from now. This compares well with Graham Hancock's findings that Pumbhar was 11,000-year-old city. On the other hand, as population of humans were lesser and lesser as we go back into the past, the probability of a yogi reaching nirvana stage should have been smaller and smaller. If we take 1000 years average for a Tirthankara to evolve, then Shiva's time could have been 22,000 years from that of Parsvanatha, and it matches with the Neolithic period of the Indian subcontinent. Periods of civilization is not the same for all regions. In the prehistoric times, changes were taking place faster in the southern Indian peninsula than the other regions of the earth. Since Shiva is seen wearing tiger skin, this might well be his times, which is more than 20,000 years ago, as cotton weaving had not then evolved. It was common for people in those times wearing animal skin as a dress, as the cotton dress had not been made by then. A sound instrument is also an animal skin based instrument and is called Udukai, which is quite consistent. Hence, the images of the gods retain certain facts of the past, and it is all quite consistent. Moreover, Sivanism had three major divisions called Kabaliham, Kalamuham, and Pasupatiyam. Of these, Kabaliham is the oldest one. Followers of this sect wore skulls around the neck, and they used the skull as an eating bowl also. They covered their body with white ash. Considering the rudimentary practices of this sect, the time of Shiva could have been around that of Neolithic age. The only thing that does not go with his Neolithic identity is his Trishul. It is made of iron, which defeats the argument that it belonged to the Neolithic age of India. However, if we interpret that Shiva was having a wooden Trishul originally, which is nothing but a branch of a tree, and after discovery of iron, in the later depictions of Shiva, the wooden Trishul was replaced with iron, it might sustain. Shiva was a mountain trotter, and hence the Trishul was helpful in climbing up and down and in self-protection from animals. In a nutshell, Shiva was an Asivaka Siddha who lived more than 10,000 years ago at least is a truth considering the foregoing analysis. There is one more dimension to the fact that Shiva was an ancient saint. The Jews call their philosophy as Kabbalah, and we know that Jesus was called in Jewish language as Isa, which is another name of Shiva. Naming people after God is standard practice in Tamil Nadu. Muslim sacred mosque is Kaaba mosque. Yoni is an object of worship there, and Isa Nabi was their prophet. Nambi in Tamil is a leader, and hence Nabi is a distorted form of Nambi of Tamil. Very importantly, Muslims also worship crescent moon. Compare these things with the Kabalishwara temple in Chennai, in Tamil Nadu, which is Shiva temple. Crescent moon is found normally on Shiva's head, representing milky space. These things prove that so-called Semitic people migrated away from Tamil land after the times of Shiva, the Adinada. When they left Tamil land, they carried their heritage with them, which is reflected in those people's respective new religions. This proves that Shiva lived very, very long ago. This Shiva seems to have taught his philosophy to 4 of his students sitting under a Kallala tree. Kallala, Kal plus Ala. Kal means stone, Ala means banyan tree. Kallala tree, which looks like a cross between peepal tree and banyan tree, is found in the hills of Tamil Nadu. Shiva is called Alamar Chelvan as he taught philosophy sitting under Kallala tree. Al plus Amar plus Chelvan. Alamar Chelvan. Alamar Chelvan means the treasurer of our knowledge sitting under the Kallala tree. He was called so as he sat there for preaching Vedam to 4 of his students. The names of the 4 students are Nalladan, that is Sanathan, Nalladana Kumaran, that is Sanatana Kumaran, Nal Nannan, that is Nal Nandan, Sanandan, and Nannahan, that is Sanahan. Of them, Nalladan spread the philosophical part of Shiva's discourse, which was translated into Prakrut language as Bauriham. Nalladana Kumaran concentrated on Urha practice, which was later translated into Prakrut as Daitriyam. Nal Nannan concentrated on the Yoga and Varmam, that is martial art, part of Shiva's discourse, which was translated into Prakrut as Talavakaram. Nannahan concentrated on spreading the mantra part of the discourse, which was translated into Prakrut as Samam. These were translated into Sanskrit around 2nd century AD as Ruk, Yajur, Sama and Atharvana Vedas. The fact that these were called initially by the Prakrut names was confirmed by Nachinarkiniyar, a Tamil poet who lived 1000 years ago, and he disapproved the Sanskrit names too. Hence, Vedas does not belong to Indo-Aryans. But what they had done is that they replaced or inserted into the Prakrut Vedas a lot of their stuff when they translated them into Sanskrit. Hence, Vedas has ideas both from Tamil and Indo-Aryan societies. Vedam itself is a Tamil word which originates from Tamil root called will. Will, Vilai, Vittu, Vittai, Vidya, Vedam. Since Shiva gave his discourse for his students sitting under a Kallala tree, he is called Alamar Chelvan. It might have been the very first religious discourse in the history of mankind, and hence he was called in Tamil as Puhalnathan. The Tamil word Puhal means speak and Nathan means leader. Hence, Puhalnathan means leader of speech. Puhal of Tamil distorted into bowl in the North Indian tongue, and hence, as Shiva gave his discourse on Vedam, he was called Bolinath in North India. This proves that Vedas were stolen from Tamils and doctored into its present form by the Indo-Arya Manuvadis, who are otherwise called Brahmins. Shiva is said to reside in Kailayam. This word evolved out of 2 words called Kayal plus Ayam. Kayal means fish in Tamil and Ayam means lake or sea. Kayal plus Ayam, Kayalayam, Kailayam. Hence, Kailayam means a sea of fishes. We shall interpret this in 2 ways. We know that Pandya kings nurtured Tamil and held 3 Tamil Sangams. There is a traditional story which says that Shiva chaired the first Tamil Sangam about 20,000 years ago. The Kumari continent was ruled by Pandya kings and that was surrounded by a sea of fishes. That is why Pandya emblem is also fish. Since Shiva was a Siddha of Kumari continent, which was surrounded by a sea of fishes, Shiva's abode could have been called Kailayam posthumously. On the other hand, as an yet another interpretation, the sky with stars shall also be called Kailayam. In Tamil, both stars and fishes are called mean, that is fish, as both of them glitter equally. Minnubavai mean enapatta. After Parinirvana, Shiva is said to reside in the sky, and Tiruvadirai star, that is the Orion star cluster, is said to represent Shiva. Hence, Kailayam might mean the sky of stars. Hence, Kailayam does not mean any mountain. The Indo-Aryans saluted all the gods of Asivakam. That way, to delink Shiva from Asivaka origin, they took Shiva to Manasarovar and linked him to a lake there, which is called Ayam, and called that place as Kailayam. The fact that Shiva is always shown with a snake means that he was a yogi. Snake represents yogic power. All the deities shown with snakes are yogis, and they were humans or representing human siddhas like Vinayaka. That leads us to Vishnu. He is sleeping on snake Adisesha, a 5-headed snake, and hence also a human yogi. Here the five-headed snake has much broader meaning than a yogi. We shall discuss about Vishnu in our next video, which is part 4 of this set.